Good morning, fam. The question of the day is, have you been beard-boozled? Welcome back for another episode of the Bearded One series. Please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you. Okay, so I got an interesting question from an individual the other day, and the question, and I'm going to paraphrase it a little bit, was basically, why am I not getting the same results as someone else who's not necessarily recommending products, but is selling products that they have made, they have manufactured? And it's a question that I'm sure a lot of folks are asking. Even myself, when I started this, was, there's so many products out there. How do you pick and choose? And the likely inclination is to go with someone who has a big beard, right? Because if they have a big beard, then whatever it is they're using must work. And I think that we kind of lie to ourselves a little bit, because just about everybody who's trying to grow a beard, who's done their research on YouTube or done their research in general, they know that genetics plays a huge part in your beard, at the end of the day. And there are some very real folks out there that show you the deficiencies of their beard as well as the strengths when you look at it. I've seen, again, shout out to Bearded Existence. I've seen him show where there may be certain bald spots that over the years he's kind of trained his hair to cover up and, maneuver and things like that. And I will always appreciate someone in this community who recommends products that they say may work, who acknowledges that those same products may not work for me or you, but it does work for them, which is all true. What I don't really respect is an individual who has a great beard and says, buy my products. This is why my products will work for you, with no disclaimer. And they are out there, and there are people by the thousands that are buying these products and finding out that they're not getting near the results that they thought they would get, or that this individual apparently is getting. And I'm talking about one individual in particular, and some of you who are in the beard community who are watching this video, you'll know who I'm talking about, because several weeks back he started a challenge with another one of his friends on who could shave their beard and grow it back the fastest. And if you go back through his videos, starting with the first week after he shaved his beard, people, that dude has had a beard since he was 10 years old. I would love to see a picture of that. As soon as he hit puberty, that man had a beard, because there's no way you could tell me that density, that the thickness, the darkness, the coloration, there's no way you could tell me that man had a scraggly beard like I have, or like you might have, that's starting from scratch, who has patchy areas. There were none. 1 week of growth, there was none. Now, it's a younger fellow. Some of you may be older, such as myself. I'm an old man. But there's by no means, it didn't matter what that man put on his face, he was going to grow a beard. And he's been blessed with wonderful genetics. But don't sit there and be beard-boozled and think that you're going to get the same results if you don't have great genetics. Period. And I will respect someone who has the perfect beard, at least in appearance sake, and says, listen, I use this. I don't know if it's going to work for you, but, try it. It works for me. It's all good. Part of this journey is to experiment, and I've been through a lot of balms, oils, butters. I'm more centered now, almost a year and a half into my journey, but I had to experiment. And guess what? Some things worked really great, some things didn't. I've also noticed, I don't know if this is the same for everybody else, but I've also noticed that I've had spurts where there just seem to be times, didn't necessarily change my diet or my exercise routine or anything else, or drank more water or less, and stay hydrated. But I just noticed that certain periods of time, my beard will grow faster. And my only advice is, if you are experiencing that at any point throughout your journey, for me, it's usually every couple of months I'll notice it. And I usually follow up with a trim, but with this whole quarantine thing and forced sheltering here in New York, I just decided not to trim with whatever new growth I get, especially while this pandemic is still going on. So, but what I would, if you're experiencing that, when you are having a growth spurt, my recommendation is whatever supplements you're taking, double up on them. Doesn't have to be at the same time. But what I will do is, let's say if I'm taking a biotin supplement, I'll take one in the morning, I'll take one in the evening, just to kind of even it out and to give the extra nutrients and building blocks that the beard needs, especially if it's growing faster. I will go back to my regular routine once I've noticed that this growing spurt or that growing spurt has now ended. And you'll know whether or not you're in a growth spurt or not when it comes to your beard. And that's it. Just don't take everything at face value. You have to do your own research. You have to experiment. And just like everything else, what may work for one person doesn't necessarily work for the other. But don't be BEARDboozled. Don't be fooled by some of these folks out here. You're putting money into their pockets. That's all well and good. They're out there hustling, but you're not getting anywhere near the results you thought you were going to get. You're not getting what you paid for. That's it. Until the next time, whether you ride share or you're a millionaire, be the best person that you can be. Stay frosty, and remember, sky's the limit. Peace.
This logo is a registered trademark of the Sky's the Limit family, LLC.